Hello, Twitch chat and YouTube. Welcome to the last Saturday Vintage Challenge before Eternal Weekend. So only serious vintage testing is happening today. Hashtag Tinker Only. As you can see on my side panel here, I have a variety of paradoxical outcome prepared for Eternal Weekend because of course I do. Why wouldn't I have that? But yeah, so today I want to try like a non-PO deck that I still labeled as Affinity PO. And I'm going to play 8cast, which is probably one of the best performing decks in the format right now. It's an all-in artifact shell featuring Seed of the Cyanod, Mox Opal, Baubles, Emery, Urza, Thoughtcast, and Thought Monitor make up your 8 casts. And it's just a really powerful blue deck that should be winning the Urza Saga Mirrors. And that's kind of the end-all be-all to it. Just put up like a lot of good results, a lot of good pilots recently. So I feel like I want to give it its due in a challenge here because it's definitely one of the things I'm considering for one of my Eternal Weekend flights. I definitely think we're going to start Eternal Weekend next weekend with some version of PO, and then we'll just adapt based on what the metagame ends up being. Because we should have metagame data by at least the third one, but maybe even by the second Eternal Weekend. So, okay, here we go. Round 1, Vintage Challenge. We're up against Mogg, who is like triple queuing because Mogg's a powerful wizard. Mogg's been playing a little bit of Ravager recently, but doesn't always play Ravager. This hand just doesn't have enough artifacts to be powerful enough, I think. So I think we just mulligan. This hand has Saga Vaults, which should be reasonable. Still a little weak, but we can go Saga turn 1. Then we have Academy. Should be okay. I think we'll just get rid of this Urza. Maybe we get rid of Thought Monitor. Maybe that's better. In case we play... maybe... I'm not sure if you're supposed to get rid of Urza or Thought Monitor there. Yo, how is Vegas, Dave? Is it a good time? Okay, so we are on the Foundry Inspector life. Foundry Inspector Manifold. Powerful. Okay, and a pass. And then we drew another basic, which is not exactly what I wanted to see. I feel like if we get Wastelanded, we can't really win this game. Or maybe I should play this Bauble now in case I get sphered. I didn't feel like I was getting sphered because my opponent didn't play a sphere there, but maybe I should have played around a sphere. Maybe they didn't want to use Manifold. Maybe they have like a statue or something. I'm not really sure. I should have probably played this Bauble. Yeah, I'm getting strip mined. All right, my hand just does not function because again, I think I got baited by how good Saga looked, and it just means that I don't know. It's just terrible. My opponent's hand has like nothing in it though. They're just attacking with it. Like I'm gonna lose to like one of the most anemic shop straws I've ever seen. Yeah, this is kind of the reason I wanted to save this. So I can go Bauble, Opal, Time Vault, but then I get wasted again. So I probably am supposed to go Opal, Bauble, Island and try not to get wasted and then play an Urza and hope that's good enough. Like, I think my opponent's hand was really bad and probably not keepable, but apparently my deck is even worse. So, solid dinner. Where'd you go for dinner? What is in my opponent's hand? Is it all wastelands? Like, I have no idea what's happening. How can they have had 4 mana last turn with their artifacts costing 1 less and not used any of it? But again, like I'm not doing anything either, so I don't really feel like it's a huge deal that they have nothing. All right, here's their post-combat second inspector. So now nothing costs any mana. Saga. I'm doing all right. I'm wide awake. My opponent, okay. I mean, I still feel like we're gonna lose, but Saga. Well, I think I just need to play this. Oh, I don't actually have enough mana? I don't actually have enough mana like this? I don't know why I miscounted this way. I guess I had to play my Academy last turn. Okay, so I guess we're playing terribly, but I guess I had to play my Academy. I was trying not to play my Academy so I could play an Urza this turn. I guess I had to draw a Moxen, or not even a Moxen, just a 0-drop artifact to make enough mana. But now I just played this and I'm going to be in a load of trouble anyways. I don't know if it's really a punt. I still feel like I was supposed to hold on to my Academy. And maybe playing the Academy now is a punt, but... yeah. I don't know. I think I was supposed to hold the Academy last turn. Because all I needed to do was draw an artifact, right? I don't know. I don't think it matters because I think we're just going to be way too slow anyways, but maybe we can just draw Manifold Key and win if they have no Revoker or anything. All right, yeah. You make a construct, you attack, you can only deal 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, I mean, I wonder if I'm supposed to crack this bauble and just give myself the best chance to drawing into a key. I lose out on 2 mana this way, and I will only have access to 4 mana. But I will have access to an additional card, but I will lose access. Well, maybe I will lose some ability to cast my 8 casts. This like definitely not over. I can easily draw Manifold Key and win this game. I'm just trying to figure out how much value a random card versus 2 mana is worth. Because I lose a mana on Academy and I lose a mana on Opal. I don't know the answer because I don't play very much 8 cast, to be perfectly honest. If I have to lose 2 mana here, then I'll only have exactly 4 mana for Urza, which is, I mean, I'm probably not even playing Urza this turn anyways. Maybe I'm supposed to keep this card and try. I mean, the problem is if I keep this card, then how much mana do I have? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So I can't even spin. So I think I want an additional card. Their last card is Ancient Tomb. All right, draw. Like, it makes it worse if I draw. All right, so I don't have anything. So I can play this, and I can play an Urza, but I don't think the Urza matters because I'm just dead on board. And I can't spin, right? Because I'll have 1, 2, 3. I don't really like the way I played this game, but I don't really feel like I drew the cards necessary to win this game either. But again, my opponent's draw was horrific. Like, it was just basically entirely dependent on this strip mine. Like, I don't think this is remotely keepable from an aggro shop's hand, but I guess it doesn't matter if I don't do anything. Why am I shouldn't even wait for my opponent to triple Q here, because I get this, and then I have 3 mana off this, 4 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana. Then I could make 7 mana, 8 mana off the construct. So I can play Saga, but I'm 1 short of spinning. I mean, I can play Urza, but I'm 1 short of spinning. So I don't even have like a backdoor time walk out. Right? Unless I did this mana wrong. Maybe I did this mana wrong. Let's just check instead. If I could play Urza without using my Academy, then I might be okay. But no, because I play this, and then I have 4 mana. And I have 2 blockers, and they just have to realize they can use their Ravager. I guess I'll make them use their Ravager. I don't know. It just kind of seems silly to me, but... yeah. So I wonder, we would have had 3, 6. I'm trying to figure out if keeping Thought Monitor was better than keeping Urza, but I never really had the mana for Thought Monitor either. I just drew like what Island, which Island, Saga is like not typically a bad draw against like an aggro shops plan, but I don't know. I kind of didn't have, say, sufficient gasoline. Maybe I just got baited super hard by Time Vault Saga, and maybe I was just supposed to go to 5. I feel like that could be true. Just get like Needle on Urza or something. Just gets a Soul Ring. Interesting. Ginger Brute. Okay, yeah. I don't. My opponent's got this. Okay. So I really hated how that went, because we should be really winning our games on the play against. Oh, we weren't on the play, were we? Were we on the play? I'm not sure. Either way, we have a bunch of Hercules recalls. Should be pretty fine. Definitely want to bring in Karn and Hercules recall. What do we want to take out? I don't really know. Flusters, I guess. Pretty bad. Mental misstep, pretty bad. Well, that makes it pretty easy, doesn't it? We have some other things we can bring in. We could bring in Needles. Needle seems better than Narset, so that's pretty reasonable. And Needle could be better than... Yeah, I mean, maybe I was supposed to mulligan. I kind of feel like that was the case. I feel like obviously we didn't draw great, but I feel like I might have just gotten baited into not a very good hand. I feel like we want all of our Needles. Maybe we just play Needles over top or something like that. And the nice part is they're not on Golo, so they don't have 4 null rods. The problem is they're still Ravagers, so they can still have like a top tier hand. I mean, this looks reasonable to me. Keep. Yo, thanks. Appreciate that. I'm gonna need it based on the way I've been playing so far. So I just get to play everything here. Yo, thanks, name. I'm just gonna name Wasteland on this. And then 1 mana Thoughtcast into Tinker Time Vault. Okay, sure. I mean, this looks really good. Just force their first play, Tinker into whatever and win. Uh, 5 is a lot of mana. Again, I really hate this, unless they're playing a Sphere off this. I'm trying to figure out like why they're sequencing in this way. It feels a little weird to me. Magda's pretty experienced with the deck, so I would expect pretty good sequencing. Yep. Sphere. I mean, maybe they're just gonna have double Sphere as the play. I feel like I would rather just force the Sphere and leave myself the option to Tinker rather than like hold up Hercules. But that could be wrong too. Second Sphere, maybe? No second Sphere? Interesting. All right. Well, I'm just going to Tinker for... Citadel, I guess? I guess Citadel. If I had a Blightsteel, I would probably get a Blightsteel. I don't. The classic 7 damage Thought Monitor. Probably doesn't matter. But it could matter. This is like one of the biggest reasons I don't like this deck. But it might just be irrelevant. Let's find out together. If I can draw blue card Force here, then maybe it doesn't matter that I took 7 damage off of my Citadel. I'm just like kind of worried. Sack? What? Okay. Okay, well that should be lethal. Unless I get trapped, but I have double force. Okay. So yeah, that should be game. Okay, now it's very much game. Yeah, didn't matter, which is nice. Do we have like a lattice in this game? Is that what we have? I'm not sure. No lattice? Okay, no lattice. All right, it was a sideboard Karn. Just a null rod. You should get a top, but we're already at like no life anyways. Really don't like those cards. Don't want to like play Mana Crypt. Trying to figure out like I just need Vault Key, I guess. I guess we're still gonna Hercules them. You can just go to my next turn here. Don't need to use life. Maybe I just want to draw through both of these using Bobble and then use my land drop for turn on Seat. Though maybe I really need to find land drop for turn on Saga. Like, I don't think I'm gonna die, but I just also don't want to kill myself here. They have a wasteland. That makes sense actually. I guess I get another. I don't get a free spin because I don't want to use any life. Kind of just want to draw into my Hercules and draw past my Crypt. I'll just play a Seat, I guess. I could spin first. I feel like I'd want to find a Saga over playing a Seat. I just want to have as much life and as much forces and creatures in play. Again, it probably doesn't matter very much, but I guess I can just stand up this Citadel as well. Kind of forgot about that. Though standing up Citadel is a little rough when you want to try to like activate it maybe for a lethal. Doing a lot of thinking over a lot of things that probably don't matter very much, but at the same time, I kind of need to learn. I do think that like citadeling is different in every deck, and you kind of have to think about how you citadel and what your goals are while citadeling. Especially this deck where like my first thing was take 7 life against an aggro deck. Like take 7 life against a Ravager Ballista deck can be very lethal if I don't draw like Karn, right? So I don't know. Maybe I was, I mean, like I had to basically play both of these and it just cost 11 life to do so. So it didn't really give me much wiggle room. I think I'm going to spin my top instead of playing the Seat right away and look at my 2 fresh cards and see if there's anything worthwhile. You would not have cast that Thought Monitor. I definitely think I wanted to cast the Thought Monitor. If you're not casting the Thought Monitor, then I think this deck is just not really playable. I'm pretty sure you're just always casting the Thought Monitor there. Unfortunately, my opponent is triple queuing, so they probably have no idea that I passed the turn, which is why they ate the Mana Vault and F6'd. Like, I shouldn't be able to die with what's going on anymore. Karn pretty much gets rid of all of their strong avenues to victory, as well as me having the life to cast a force. So I probably won't be spending too much more life total on casting spells off the top unless I can find something that wins automatically. But I do need to figure out, like, probably if I can't find anything that's worthwhile, maybe I just attack with Citadel, hold up Hurkyl's Force. What was my opponent playing again? They were playing the Pioneer PTQ, the Standard Challenge, and the Vintage Challenge. So yeah, I mean, pretty much all. So you pretty much all the P9, pretty much all the Tinker lists, Eric, have like 4 Force and some number of Bluster. I assume the P9's Tinker list had 2 top, which helps mitigate that a lot. And a lot of times when you Tinker and you have a Force on top, it's usually fine. You can like just pass the turn and force something, but I don't know. There's like a lot of no, they did. So my opponent ate the Mana Vault and hit F6, but the thing is I had to go to my Time Walk turn, so I need them to pass priority again. So I'll just send him a message. Mog's a grinder. Mog's pretty good, actually. My opinion anyways. Though I still don't recommend playing Ravager shops, but it gives me time to talk about all the things that went wrong in game 1. I wish I could. I guess I can go back and look at the replay while we wait. Let's go back and watch game 1 and try to figure out all the things we made a mistake on in game 1, because I do feel like game 1 was totally winnable if I played or made better decisions. So yeah, our first mulligan was definitely a mulligan. And then we had, I don't need my see chat, I just need to see this. Then we had this hand. Maybe this hand is just a mulligan, but if I assume my opponent is on Ravager, having access to 3 mana sources is pretty good. I am only 6 out of 9 episodes into Arcane. I'm waiting to see it with someone else on Monday, probably. I think this keep was just bad. I think that in the end, I just saw Saga Vault and I thought it was good. But that's not good enough here. I think that's the key problem with game 1 was just that this hand was okay. We're back. All right. So I'm gonna spin. I'm gonna spin. I found a needle and an island. Okay. I think I will play. I'm just gonna hit Wasteland again. No, I guess I can hit Strip Mine. I'm just gonna play this land and spin again. Needle Saga, maybe? Maybe. All right, I'm just gonna play this Time Vault. I'm just gonna plus on this Citadel and attack. And then next turn we can play a Sphinx. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to attack with Thought Monitor as well so that I can... I don't know. It probably doesn't matter very much. I was just thinking I was just gonna Hercules them maybe. I should have, yeah, I guess if I'm gonna Hercules them, I should attack, and then next turn I can activate. So that was pretty bad. Oh, now I can just activate anyways. So that should be enough. my opponent did hit me with the very nice I asked them to f6 again, and they goes, huh, it's funny you have the same clock as me. which is fair. Which is fair. But Needle. Okay, now they're gonna Needle Saga. All right, they're Needle. I don't think I'm supposed to force it. It's just whatever. Maybe they'll just Needle. Well, if they don't Needle Citadel, then okay. Then now they can just die to Citadel though. So. Oh, okay. So let's go to game 3 here. Again, I think the sideboard plan is fine. I don't really like any of these other cards very much. Ravager Shops requires decision making, but a lot of its decision making is front loaded. Where in this case, in this game, a lot of my decision making was on the fly in terms of like how to sequence off of my Citadel. So different decks have different points in time where they're making decisions. Yeah, I don't actually think the way I played this game was like superbly bad. I think I just bad keep on this game 1 hand. And then I don't think I was supposed to play... I was definitely supposed to play Saga Time Vault. Okay, that was really bad. I don't know why I didn't play Saga Time Vault. Oh, because I thought I could play Tolarian Academy. Right, so that was a punt. Okay, yeah. Okay, fair. I mean, this hand doesn't seem great, but it has a Hercules. Like, is this a mulligan? I have so much cast and not enough artifacts. But I have a Hercules and a Mox and a Saga. I feel like this could be a trap hand if I've ever seen one. Just 3 uncastables. Yeah, let's just mulligan this. I mean, this looks better. I think I'm supposed to get rid of 1 Hercules here and keep the rest. Wasteland and Sphere? Sure. It's a little unfortunate because it means that I'm not casting Needle on Wasteland here, but I think we just want to get this Lotus into play. And then if my opponent plays a Revoker, I can just use it if I want to. No, I don't even have to. Yeah, I just want to get this Lotus in play. I don't think it makes sense to play Bauble Needle, though we could. We could play Bauble Needle off of Lotus. Maybe it does make sense to do that. I don't know. I feel like protecting my academy is pretty important, and I don't want to get like land revokered on my Lotus. Okay, so they're up to 4, so they can play like a Foundry Inspector. Okay. Another island. So I can have 3 mana. This currently costs 4 mana. So I feel like we just play land, hope they don't have Strip Mine, and look for like an end step Hercules. and then try to go off on the next turn. Unfortunately, pretty weak to another sphere. I guess if we bounce in response to another sphere, that's fine. Don't care about that. They wouldn't be able to replay, so it's probably fine. Another sphere. So I just take the 3, and then we play our next land next turn. And we'll go for it on the following turn. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to bounce in response and still have to play through a sphere. That doesn't really feel good. That's a nice follow-up. My opponent is also restricted by these spheres, at least a little bit. I can take this and then look for an end step Hercules. Kind of the best draw for me is like a Moxen, like a something like that. It's another sphere, it's kind of annoying. Okay, sure. All right, that's really good for us. Let's just Hercules them, untap. I have to pitch a card. I'm currently on 2, 3, 4 mana, which is not a lot. Definitely want to just see like a Moxen that'll double, like, give me 6 mana. I'm still not sure we're in like a super favorable position, but my opponent's mana resources are really low, so it's probably fine. I really do feel like if we draw a Moxen, we should be in the best of shape, because then we can really go off. But if we don't draw a Moxen, I don't really know how I feel about Divination right here. The problem with the Divination is that I have to use my Academy, and I really don't want to. Even a Mishra's Bauble would be great, because then I can go Island, Thoughtcast into 0 drops. Okay, that's beautiful. Very, very nice. So now I can go Island, Thoughtcast, Mox, this thing, Karn. I guess I should have put something in my sideboard for this Karn, because I just have nothing, right? Oh, I have a top. I like having this top in my sideboard. That's nice. I get top. Play top, spin top. Any thought monitors? Urza. So I can crack both of these and have force up and then draw into Urza on the following turn. Seems really good. Is it correct to even do that though? Maybe I should crack 1 and be able to top into force, and that might be better. So then I'll have an additional 2 mana on the following turn. Ginger Brute, sure. True. There is a Revoker, but I feel like you would play Spheres over a Revoker, right? Not necessarily. I can activate top and spin top, and it doesn't really matter very much. Oh, right. They can't use Emerald because of Karn. How much mana does this make? I'm kind of interested in just spinning my Urza, I think. Sure. One, 2 spinners I get. Maybe that's worse than holding up force. Maybe I don't need to hold up force. Do I have any 0 drops in my sideboard? Don't. So I could just plus and stand something, or I can spin. Oh, I think I'm just gonna spin. Another force and a saga. Oh, maybe I was supposed to just draw into saga. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I feel like if I just play as cautiously as possible, we'll probably win, so. Like, what if I just draw into force here and force this, and then go for a kill on my next turn? I don't even think I care about doing that, though. Like, who gives a shit? Like, they're just gonna play their inspector and their thing, and they'll keep taking 2 damage, and it doesn't matter. It just seems very irrelevant what I choose to do here. I do wish I had maybe played in, like, gotten an Urza Saga in play. Like, maybe I'll just go. Needle won me the game. I do agree with that statement. Wow, they have an Opal in their aggro deck. Interesting. Very cool. Maybe one Opal. So I'll have Force after this. I'll have a Saga underneath. I don't know. I could crack the Bauble, but I feel like having an extra 2 mana is better. I think I might just go, like, draw into my Saga and then do some spinning stuff. Maybe I don't need to spin because I just spin off my top or something, but. I just didn't hit anything. Hmm. Am I, like, at risk? My Karn is going to die now unless I hold this back. Man, I feel like I played this so badly. I wanted to find, like, 2 artifacts and attack with an 8/8 that they had to block because they couldn't cast any more spells, but I just didn't hit any. Okay, well, I mean, I'm just draw into all this shit and we'll win later, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. Now they can play 2 things off of this inspector. I don't know what's up. I feel like I'm playing horribly, but I'm having a hard time pinpointing exactly why. Okay, so this can just name Karn or top. But again, I just don't care. Or Saga. Sorry, this is not Karn. This is Urza. I mean, I'm just going to make Saga tokens, right? And it's not going to matter anymore. Hello. Like, I just don't care about any of these spells. So, like, why am I, like, hoarding a bunch of forces if I just don't even care about them? Well, now they can attack and kill Karn on the next turn, right? Unless I find 2 creatures. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to find 2 creatures, right? Yeah, but the revoking Karn is not what they want to do. They want to kill Karn so they can activate their Ravager and win. Right? Maybe I was supposed to counter this Revoker then. Yeah, I think I was supposed to counter Revoker because I know I'm making a Urza Saga token, but if they just attack all and kill my Karn, that leaves them in a much more playable position. What am I doing? I gotta wake up here because I think I can lose this game if I play this too badly. We do combo in one turn, and I guess maybe we can't die as long as we can force a blocking ballista, so maybe it doesn't matter. My Karn is not going to be at 1. It will die because I cannot activate it because my opponent has a Phyrexian Revoker naming it. This is game 3. I do still think we're going to win, but should I be holding this Time Vault so that they don't know and don't have like Revoker naming Time Vault? Probably. This will hold up multiple forces as well. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. I'm just going to pass. Well, I haven't been attacking with constructs because they haven't been lethal. I guess I could play my Time Vault and make a Saga token right now, and then they have to block the construct. Is that actively better than holding out and like not showing them? Don't know. Maybe. I think my opponent's GGing. I feel like I toyed with my opponent here if I just played very poorly, but the needle on Wasteland was definitely the game-winning play. Right, right. I do know that. Like, I could have played my Time Vault and made a Saga token on my turn to make this have to be blocked. I could have done that. I felt like that was worse than just like holding open double force Saga and not showing them Vault. Well, it's not the the Karn doesn't matter about being activated. This doesn't matter. The Karn only matters because it stops Revoker Ravager Ballista, which is probably the only way my opponent can win this game. Oh, you're just saying if they all out attack on Karn, then they die on the swing back, and that's true, unless they find another creature or something. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I thought about a lot of things that were just not very relevant, so not very happy, but we'll get there. Recording. Hello. Round 2, Vintage Challenge. I have a nuts hand as long as my opponent doesn't go turn 1 Sphere or Null Rod. Ready, set, go. You love to see it. So I'm thinking we just draw a bunch of cards and then tinker. Oh, is it the early morning Eternal Weekend? Makes sense, makes sense. So what I'll do is I'll sequence this in the best way to play around Vigor. Oh, I don't care, whatever. They mind break trap, they mind break trap. All right, so I think we start with our Thought Cast. Okay, so now I have Tinker with Fluster backup. That's pretty good. Sinker with Fluster backup. So tinker away Mishra's Bauble, leaving us with 2 artifacts, but if we go to the next turn, we can play Key. I don't think we want to play Key. I'm pretty sure we just want to play just Tinker for Citadel with Fluster backup. They have to have a counter spell and 2 counter spells, basically. I mean, we could just play we could play Key Thought Monitor, and we have 5. This only costs 2. But I don't think it's a bad idea to play Thought Monitor. We can play Thought Monitor with Flusterstorm backup as well. Like, what if they have if they have Fluster Force? We would lose that. And then we would be pretty far behind. I feel like we could just play Thought Monitor here, and it might be even better than Tinker. I guess the problem is I would play Thought Monitor, and if they forced it, I would still fluster, right? And if they countered everything, I would still end up in this almost the same place, except I would have a bobble instead. I'm gonna Tinker. It's usually correct. I don't think we're gonna get Doomsday. I think I'm more worried about Collector Roof. So is this just Fluster? All right, time to try my Flusterstorm prowess here. Could also get dazed at the end of all this as well. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, same target. So days or force after all of this would put us in a pretty bad spot, but I guess it would. The thing is, Thought Monitor beats just Fluster, right? All right, doesn't. I guess we're going in. So I have a this. I have a this. That's a whiff. I'm dead. Ah! Okay. It's not a bad draw though if I get Collector Roofed. So this is probably one of the best draws if I get Collector Roofed. I guess the real problem is if they go Dark Ritual, Doomsday kill me. I mean, hitting double land in my 12 land deck is unfortunate, but it is something that happens. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Yo, thanks Unicorn Paradise. Appreciate that. I'm just not really sure if this Tinker plan was better than casting Thought Monitor. Like if it was Slasher who put the Bolas Citadel in play, they would immediately like hit a top off the top and win on the spot. But it is me we're talking about, so doesn't look like it will matter here. Because as long as I'm going to untap with this Citadel on this turn, I can't imagine I would lose. I think I would rather play Academy and then play Thought Monitor off of Opal than play Saga. Maybe I'm wrong. How much is this? This is all right. I shouldn't be able to die with force fluster. So man, this deck is so bad at Citadel. I know. I was told this deck wasn't bad at Citadel. They were like, "Oh, you're wrong. This deck is not bad at Citadel. This deck is horrible at Citadel." I was totally right. I feel at least a little vindicated in that assumption. It's just not having tutors, not being able to find your top. You can do exclamation mark Discord in chat. I wasn't saying specifically you, not me. Like Slasher's the one who tells me it's not a bad Citadel deck. Yeah, if you check out the shops channel in the Discord, Grizzle, there's a bunch of players there. In the pins, there are some primers. I know that Javier Dominguez put out a primer recently. I know that like Kevin Tsubasa Cat is in that Discord, so you can ask them any questions. They're a really proficient Golos player. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Imagine that Doomsday kills me through Force Fluster here. How brutal will that be? I will feel real bad about this game if that is the case. I would rather just not let the Doomsday resolve than... I feel like I want to cast another Force and just beat Fluster via mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then still contain another Fluster. I don't think Hardcast Force here is better than just pitching Emery, who I don't really care about. Okay, they're over it. I don't really hate the way I played that. I think I played that fine. It just feels so miserable. I'm just so used to my Citadel murdering them. I guess it murdered them, but just like in a different way. All right, so we're up against Doomsday. This should be a pretty reasonable matchup in my mind. Let's bring in Mystical Dispute. Let's bring in Hull Breacher. I don't know if you bring in Karn as a Null Rod. And I don't know if you bring in like Dismember to beat Oppo Agent. Probably not. Definitely don't need a Sphinx of the Steel Wind though. And we probably don't need like an island. I don't know. Does this deck board down on lands? We're on 13 lands. I'm not really sure. Like we're a 4 Flusterstorm deck. Could board out Needle. Needle probably doesn't matter at all. Needle hits like Necro Polluted Delta. If they've resolved the Necro, it's too late. Delta's not really the avenue. I guess the real question is like, do we bring in Karn? And I just don't think the answer is yes. And then like, do we care about an Op Agent? And I don't think the answer is yes. So let's just play like this. No, the problem is Assessor on your opponent doesn't usually work based on the piles they make and the card Flusterstorm. I mean, this hand looks like a trap to me. Any artifact lets me have a Hull Breacher, which is good. This just doesn't seem right to me. This doesn't seem like a keep. Is it even good against a do-nothing Doomsday hand? Because it doesn't do anything on turn 1. I mean, theoretically, if I go like Saga Soul Ring Opal, it's really good. If I had a Mox like or a Bauble, this hand I would keep. If my opener was Saga Soul Ring Opal Bauble, hold open Hull Breacher, I would snap it off. Needle hits Street Wraith, sure. Is that like really what we want in our deck? I don't really think so. I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I have the Power of London, right? Yeah, I mean, look at this hand. This hand has Saga multiple counterspell backup. So in this hand, am I just getting rid of top? Or am I just getting rid of a Thoughtcast? Maybe we'll just get rid of a Thoughtcast. Well, the problem is, do I have the liberty to play Saga top on turn 1? And the answer is probably no on the draw. So I think we would rather just have... Like, the answer might still be get rid of Thoughtcast. But I just don't see us playing a top on turn 1. But that might actually be fine. Because I think we just go like seat, go, Saga top, go. Just need to hit a land and then just play at instant speed. That's probably my game plan. Street Wraith, we could have needled that. And that. Okay. My opponent is playing very aggressively. Oh wow, that's a draw, isn't it? We run the risk of getting like dazed here, but I think I'm like greedy enough to do it. Is it worth it? Yeah, we get an end of turn spin. Isn't that good? Do you not think that's good? If they daze, how likely are they actually to kill us, really? I feel like it's a slightly greedy line that you don't have to take, but I don't hate it. I think you do. I think both of us actually do, not me. From what I understand, you and I probably both respect Doomsday too much. This only holds open double counter if all of my spells, all of my artifacts resolve. So here's another problem. If I spin here and my opponent cracks and plays an op agent, is that a big deal? I guess not really. Second Fluster, Pearl, Urza. So if I play a Pearl, I can then Thought Cast, and I won't be able to hold up double Fluster. I think we just take the Fluster. So now I have force double Fluster, and then next turn I can draw Pearl, and then I'm still holding up everything. Yeah, this looks fine. The clock is on them to combo kill me here, because I'm going to start making Saga tokens that will finish them very quickly. Brainstorm. Sure. It's a good one. I mean, I'm still going to get the Pearl. Why does that change anything? This lets me have Fluster without using my top. This is kind of like I feel like the place we're at right now is a perfect example of why Doomsday fell off a bit from being the tier 0 deck. Because this whole like hold open a Saga activation at instant speed with multiple Fluster Storms is just really annoying for Doomsday. All right, here's a Doomsday. Again, I really don't think this Doomsday resolving is a feasible plan for us. I would like to be on at least a Fluster on this. They can pay for this Fluster with Dark Ritual pay, which I think is fine. If this was a Doomsday, okay, sure. So they go to 6. I think I just force this. So we just make Saga tokens, and maybe this was a spot where we would have had Needle in our deck. So I draw Jet. I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, Saga token 5, Saga token 6. So they can't Doomsday past the turn. I mean, I feel like that's what we have. We have a spin 1 deeper in case they have something else, but how do you like Vintage at the moment? Feel like anything needs correcting? Nope. Vintage is pretty balanced right now. The Tinker decks are the best deck, but there will always be a best deck. So as long as the Tinker decks stay within the range that they currently are at, I think Vintage is in a great spot. I feel like every major archetype has a viable deck choice, and any deck can win on a given day. I would venture to say Vintage is probably one of the most healthy Magic formats that exists right now. And I think you can unrestrict some cards. I don't think any of the cards that you can unrestrict will be super awesome for the metagame, but I mean, I don't consider Storm and Dragon archetypes that matter, so what of these cards would I like to draw? Not really any of them per se. I guess Academy lets me, so I could get a, what kind of 1-drop can I even get here? I could get a Key, I could get a Bauble. I got rid of my Needle. I get a Soul Ring. I could take Urza as a blue card for Force. I mean, you can play decks that Storm. Like PO exists. Wait, so why did the text-to-speech work now? I also doubled up because I had the Stream Elements open. I think I'm taking this Academy. I think the two things you can think about are like a bunch of extra mana for a Fluster or Hardcast Force, and Urza is a blue card for a Force. Wonder if we're gonna get Dress Downed. Like, in my opinion, if a Workshop deck is viable, a Bazaar deck is viable, a Fair Blue deck is viable, and a Tinker deck is viable, that's a pretty good balanced format in terms of Vintage. And currently, every archetype is viable. So I guess here the question is, do we get a Key? Do we get a redraw off a Bauble? Do we just get like a Black Lotus or a Soul Ring to have a ton of mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I mean, it goes past that. Like, I think Oath and Aggro both have viable choices as well, but I don't really consider them to be like, I don't expect them to always be good. Key is the one that does the most in my mind, because drawing an extra card deeper doesn't matter too much when I have a top. I don't know if I want to show them Academy. Yeah, Archon aggro decks exist and are viable, so. Yes, humans won a challenge recently. That is a true statement. Maybe I'm not supposed to spin right away. Mental misstep, thought monitor. Okay, can we get extra damage in this way then? If I float my mana, draw my thought monitor, replay my thought monitor, play my thought monitor, draw top opal, and then spin again. And that gives me an extra 2 damage, and I have to get an extra 2 more damage. It seems feasible. Oh, the opal doesn't give me extra damage though. Lets me see more cards too. It does mean if this gets forced or something, then it's a little less powerful for us. I also have key into top to draw 2 cards. Okay. So I'm gonna lose my mana. So I think we want to just draw. So I could top activate. So I could hold priority. So I could top activate. Hold priority, spin, activate, and draw 2 cards. But I would need to draw. I don't think any of that works. So I might as well just use my key to untap opal, hold up fluster misstep. That's probably for the best. Is that better than untapping seat? I guess untapping seat is better. Drawing into Mox would be better than untapping it. Yeah, I guess we could have done that. We could have gone top, activate, draw into top opal and play top opal, and then be able to go into fluster. Yeah, that's better. That is better. I mean, in this capacity, I still could have spun and drawn force and forced a dress down, but yeah, that wasn't probably the best way I could have sequenced that. I kind of agree. Maybe we were supposed to draw twice with top and get top opal, replay top and opal, and then have the ability to draw into fluster. Does that change? It changes, just gets rid of an opal on the top, right? That's the only thing it really changes. Is that like significantly different? It just draws us 1 deeper, which probably doesn't matter. I guess it would only matter if they had answers to double token, which would have to be dressed down. So yeah, that was probably better sequencing though. All right, boom, round 3, vintage challenge. I worked with chat to get the chat box looking a little more readable, so hopefully it's a little bit more readable now. I changed over a bunch of my things from Streamlabs to Stream Elements, so there's just a little bit of growing pains there. Let me know if you can't really read this when you watch it later on YouTube, and we'll work to make it even better if we can. Round 3 on the play. Give me a broken one. That's a broken one. Interesting. I mean, I'm keeping. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to sequence this. There's a lot of upside to jamming this Ancestral on my turn. So usually you'll just play out your land and Ancestral on their upkeep, which will play around negation. However, we have a Flusterstorm, which makes me want to wait till turn 2. We have Seat Opal, which makes me want to fire it off on my turn 1. It's a really good hand, but it also has some issues where if the Ancestral doesn't resolve, it feels kind of bad. Also, like the Force only has a pitch Fluster, doesn't have another pitch blue card. This event fired with exactly the same number of people it normally fires with. But it also fires at a weird time compared to like Eternal Weekend Legacy, so. I do know that leagues have been greatly increased with the Eternal Weekend tokens, so. So I guess what I'm going to do is if I don't see anything from my opponent's mulliganing, I'm just going to go look up their name and see what they normally play and debate whether or not they're likely to be playing a negation deck. And the answer is the last thing they played in Vintage was 2020 Hogak. So that's not exactly helpful. But it looks like every time they've played Vintage, they've played a Bazaar deck, even playing Survival at one point. It doesn't really help me choose because 2 out of the 3 Bazaar decks can play negation, and two of the 3 Bazaar decks will play, or 3 of the 3 Bazaar decks will play Vigor. I really want to hold up Fluster on Vigor. I think I'm going to jam this Ancestral on my turn, though. Yeah, we're playing 8 cast. I probably should have put that in the title. That was about the worst possible Ancestral we could have ever had. Wow. Okay. I have now drawn 6 of my 13 lands. This looks bad. This looks like a losing game. Not ideal, to say the least. I do not think we are going to win this game unless we hit some nice top decks. Sagas will get us there? You have way more faith in Sagas than I do, chat. I do not see Sagas getting us here. It's only the deck with the least amount of lands in Vintage, so. Okay, it is Bazaar. Is it Hogak or is it Squee? Survey says... Well, I know my opponent's going to play Bazaar Activate, so... I mean, our hand is basically unplayable against Bazaar Activate. So I would say yes. At this point, if you had to give me the odds on who is going to win this game, I would say my opponent is heavily favored to win this game. That's not to say we won't win this game and we can't win this game, but I would definitely put ourselves at heavily unfavored. So it is Hogak mine. Chalice on 0. So here's the problem. If I force this Chalice on 0, and then my opponent has Vigor, it's so bad for me. I don't think I'm supposed to. I think I'm going to let the Chalice go and play a Saga game plan. Course. I just absolutely think I'm supposed to play around Vigor. It's their best piece of interaction. It's a 4 of. It's not a huge deal here. I'm going to be able to make sure I activate my Saga no matter what. So as long as I'm not getting wastelanded, which I could easily get wastelanded here. But the good news is that it is not Squee, it's Hogak. And I think that, well, maybe that's not good news. I think that Sagas could beat this deck if they draw pretty badly. They hit 2 vines though, so that's not a good sign. And they did have a wasteland as well. Okay. Yeah, this looks real bad for me. If I can draw... I fucking drew another island. Okay, all right. Magic the Gathering, Magic the Gathering. This is kind of been my experience with Saga, is that it just gets wastelanded and I feel bad that I ever thought I could use it to do anything. But maybe they'll be out of wastelands and just instead play a free 20 power, you know? It hurts, man. It hurts. Yep. If I draw a Thoughtcast, I could technically go seat, activate, 1, 2, 3, 4, draw a Thoughtcast. That'd be cool. Not that I can play anything off Thoughtcast because there's an active Chalice, but... This can definitely be the downside of Ancestral Hands, if you just don't have good cards on top. If your deck just doesn't play good cards. Nah, I mean, every deck plays some amount of islands. Almost any island deck can just cast Ancestral and draw 3 islands. That's just how it works. Some Magic the Gathering. All right, my opponent pitched Force of Vigor, Deathrite Shaman, Mental Misstep. Are they gonna play a creature here? Do they have a follow-up creature? How could they play? So they would have to have a follow-up hollow one after this. Yep. So I take 8 or they play a Hogak. Just force this and take 8, I guess. Oh, I guess I take 4 and they play a Hogak. And my thing is going to be a 4/4. That's the worst number. It needed to be 5/5. I guess I could have forced Citrus Supplier, and then they would have had Hollow One Vengevine. That's not that much better. I guess I could have forced Hogak, but I don't really like that plan either. They just it does put it away for 1 turn. Maybe that's better. Maybe it's better to force Hogak. They still get, you know, eat power or whatever, so they can always cast it again on the next turn. Especially if they can cast it off like Supplier Bloodghast. I don't know. Tinker off the top might still be winning because I have Sphinx in my deck. I drew a bobble. Yeah. So, sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously we were incredibly unlucky, true. What can I say? We were winning too many games of Magic. We had to lose some. 12, 16, 17. This is only a 4/4, right? All right. I'm looking for like Vault Key. I'm not even sure that Tinker Sphinx is good enough anymore. I don't think it is. So I kind of just have to Vault Key. Draw a Time Vault fetch key. I guess I still have top. I guess. I don't know, man. Fucking hell. All right, that was about as badly as a game where you resolve ancestral can go. Well, you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can jump around, Julian. Find the parts that interest you. Some people need to watch the whole thing. Or you could watch it Jarvis's 20-minute video. Or actually, there will be... I am going to be making content, I believe, this week with a prolific content creator about Eternal Weekend. So maybe you can wait for that to come out. No promises, though. All right, so I'm going to bring in 3 Soul Guide Lanterns, a Grafdigger's Cage, and 2 Needles. And do I need to bring in Dismember for Collector Roof? I'm not sure. I wonder if you're even ever supposed to keep Citadel in here. I hate Narset. I hate Citadel. Are you supposed to keep Fluster because of Vigor? You should play, I don't know, there's no Elves deck, man. Oh, I have no idea what to sideboard here, by the way, chat. I have actually 0 idea. Maybe you're supposed to just board out Force of Wills and... God, are you supposed to keep in Fluster against just Vigor? Like, our deck loses to Vigor so hard. We're playing against Hogak, but I just don't know what we're supposed to do. I've never played this matchup before. Maybe you just keep a couple Flusters in, and then you just board out the rest, and you just do your thing, and you just try to combo kill them. I don't know. I have no idea. Never played the matchup before. Hogak is a very seldomly played deck, and I have not played that much Acast, because Acast tilts me to the end of the earth. Yo, what up, Mike? Thanks for the raid. Nice. I like that Brian voice. All right, so my idea is I'm going to play some Flusters for Vigor and then just board in all the hate. Don't know if that's the plan. Yeah, I mean, I think Tinker is the best choice, but I think like all of the other archetypes have viable choices. Like there are good Workshop decks, there are good Bazaar decks, there are good Fair Blue decks. So like you can not play Tinker and be fine. Maybe we do want Hullbreacher as well. Actually pretty good against their deck, right? I don't know if taking out all this counter magic is the right way to play this. I could easily be convinced it's wrong. Yeah, and there's also like 3 different Tinker decks. So I could go... This looks terrible. I don't want this. Thank you. I will do my best. Okay, here we go. Another Ancestral hand. Okay. So I think we just bottom the Dismember. Well, it's pretty good against Collector Roof. Maybe we just bottom the Thought Monitor and we just go Sapphire Ancestral and then see if we can Thought Cast. If not, maybe we just play Saga. Maybe we always play Saga. Have I explained 2 Urzas yet? I don't know. I just copied the list, man. Go ask Slasher. Tinker is any deck with Tinker. It's that simple. I think I'm going to get rid of the Thought Monitor because it seems like the least castable, whereas Dismember will still let us answer a Collector Roof. And my opponent does not look to be holding up Force of Vigor, which is interesting. I still drew Thought Monitor and land, so I guess we'll just go Saga, hold up, Dismember, go. That does make me weak to a top deck Vigor, which is probably bad, but Maybe I'm supposed to play Island so that I can almost always play Tinker for Sphinx on the next turn. My opponent's probably on some swords for Sphinx, I would assume. I really feel like these Ancestrals have been not great. Oh, okay. So I got Strip Mine, so I guess we'll just be happy that that our island didn't get Strip Mined, maybe. All right, we have the same choice again. This time I actually do think I'm going to play Island. I think I would have been pretty tilted if Island got Strip Mine, but I think actually dissuading them from playing like a Vigor on like my hitting like 2 of my things and just being able to untap and put a Sphinx in play should be what we're looking to do. Yeah, our Ancestral hasn't been big. Oh my god, he got double Vengevine Rootwalla into Hollow One. That would be pretty good. Yeah. Does Sphinx beat this? I sure hope so. Ooh, boy. Again, I'm not going to use Saga just in case they have Vigor. And I don't want them to like kill it on the stack. I'm going to Tinker off of the seat because the seat can get wasted. All right, I mean, if they have Plains Swords to Plowshares, we lose this game. If they don't, we might be fine. I only left in a Fluster, so maybe I'm just supposed to keep in 4 Forces. I don't know. I feel like Force is so bad against these decks. Any chance I wanted to Dismember? I don't believe so. I mean, they should have to have Savannah Swords to Plowshares. That's kind of it. I think 2 Forces is better than 2 Urza. I mean, this game comes down to creatures on the battlefield a lot, so I feel like Urza is good. Like, just gumming up the ground with an Urza seems very, like, a reasonable way to win this game. My opponent can't make creatures that are bigger than constructs. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Like I said, I don't have all the answers because I don't play this deck enough to know how the Hogak matchup goes. Hogak is like one of the least played decks in the format. It's not a bad deck. It's just a very seldomly played deck. So it's hard to have data when this 8-cast deck was made, you know, 5 months ago when Urza Saga was printed. This and Thought Monitor was printed. This deck didn't exist, you know, in the beginning of this year. So I mean, we can look like I don't know. I don't feel like Saga. Maybe like Emry is terrible. Maybe we want to cut like Emry and Urza and play Forces. That could be true. I just have always felt that Force is like so bad in this matchup because it doesn't actually hit anything that matters. I guess it would technically like slow down a Hogak or something, but so they could tap out their board here to play a Hogak, but we still have a pro green first strike lifelink flying Sphinx, unless they just go Savannah Swords, in which case I guess we just lose on the spot. So maybe we do need Force. How likely is it for them to Savannah Swords us, though? It's got to be extremely unlikely. None of the cards that are in our hand would have been a Force of Will, besides maybe this Dismember. But Dismember is always coming in, so maybe this could have been a Force, but I don't think they're slow rolling it. I don't think they have it, because what they're tanking about here, I thought they were tanking about getting a Dryad Arbor so that it was easier to play Hogak, but that doesn't seem like the case. They could have Bone Splinters, or like the better Bone Splinters. That could be an answer. It protects my hate pieces. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll board them in back in game 2. I mean, I think we win this race, right? I sure hope so. That's a little bit late on the Grafdigger's Cage there, friendo. Maybe we don't win this race. 1, 2, 3. I think it's better to cast Thoughtcast than Dismember there, but so I go to 26 and I take 4, 8, 16, 17, 19. And then I go to 7, then I go to 13, then I go to 19. Huh. I guess they could have also had a removal spell that killed their Vengevine there. Do I get to cast more blockers? 1, 2, 3. This costs 4. I'm not really sure we're going to be able to play more blockers unless I find more artifacts. If I find a Moxen, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might be closer. I believe I'm currently losing, am I not? Am I not actually beating this because the Hogak was too big? We're not going to be able to activate Saga. My opponent is almost certainly going to Wasteland Saga. I would assume. I'm kind of thinking we're losing this right now, are we not? So if I block back up, I'm at 5. I go to 11. Oh, I get to attack here, so I get to gain another 12. So that should be good enough. I don't know. Math is not for me. So they have Deafening Silence in their deck. That seems like a hard card for us to beat as well. They're playing a Collector Roof. Okay. Needle. So I could Needle Deathray Shaman. I could Needle Bazaar of Baghdad, but they can't ever get a Vigor at this point because they'll go up to 2, up to 4, down to 1. So I don't actually care. So I think I can just Needle Deathrite Shaman. I'm at 13. They attack for 8, 12, 16, 8, 12, 16, 18, 20, go up to 19 and lose? Is that how that works? No, I block and don't take 4. So I gain 10. So I'm fine. So I think the answer is just to Needle Deathrite Shaman. Because these Vengevines can't come back. And every time they attack, they lose an attacker. I reduce 10 damage because I gain 6 and kill a Vengevine. I guess if they save this card next turn, I could get Vigored or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure not blocking Gak and blocking Vengevine every turn is better. They actually activated. I feel like they're not supposed to activate here because if they can get to Vigor, maybe Vigor doesn't matter. This is dumb close. This is so close. I think we do want our forces back in our deck. Because I could have like forced this Hogak to like buy myself a lot of time. All right, they're at 0 cards though, so they just have to beat me with what they have. Don't think they currently beat me with what they have. I'm not supposed to unlock the oof, right? 19, 11, 10, I go to 1. No, I would die. Okay. So I have to block a Vengevine. Because they're going to pump this Root Walla for 2. I might lose this. I'm going to lose this. I lose this, right? I can block this and take... I'm at 13, 11, 9, 8, 4. I exactly die. If I dismember their Collector Oof, I go to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't even cast it, right? Because it costs 2. No, I unlock my Sapphire. Well, a Thought Monitor in play is an extra 4 life, so that's totally worth it. And then I can play Thought Monitor. I guess I should play top first and then play Thought Monitor, seeing as that's free. I need to draw like Opal. So right now I block 8 and go to 9 and take 5, 6, 7, 9. I take exactly 9. So I have to fucking top into Opal to win this game, even though I fucking tinker to Sphinx. I gotta answer that right after this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I just need to hit Opal. Ogak does trample. Oh wait, no, I block, take 2, take, I don't know, whatever, who cares? Sorry, I was wrong. I could block here and take 2. I'm too good at this video game, man. What can I say? Whatever, man. I think naming Deathrite Shaman was been pretty good though, right? Sorry, important text. Wait, so if I hadn't played a second Thought Monitor, I had block here, take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is not enough. So I actually wouldn't have won. I wouldn't have lost, right? Because I was thinking about a really bad set of blocks. I would have still won with my original sequence, but I just did the math all wrong. Oh my god, I have another game to play? I don't think another green source does it because the Deathrite Shaman is needled. So, okay, so let's fix the sideboarding. So we think we don't want Emery and Urza, and I think Emery seems decent against like Vigor though, doesn't it? And instead we want Forces. Is that what we want? Sorry, I have some. Why isn't this turning on? I need to make sure that you guys. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so do we actually think Urza is bad? Do we actually think Emery is bad? Do we think we really want Forces? I don't know. I feel like Emery could be really good at looping lanterns, right? But maybe that's not actually a viable plan. Maybe I would rather just have Forces than Flusters. And maybe we just want to trim on like a Bobble, because why do we need a Bobble when we have all this artifacts? Maybe something like that. Yeah, I don't think it being a Namba with Cage is a huge deal. It's a problem, but it's not like... It's going to be worse for them than it is for us. Also, we're on, what, 1 Cage? So... I'm just trying to use as much time as I can. Sorry, chat. I have something I have to check over here for work. But I'll be real quick. Hopefully. I gotta make sure I submit this. Narset is too slow. Also, it's kind of hard to protect. Yeah, hitting Lotus was pretty broken. I mean, this hand looks pretty sweet, right? Branch wants Emery's gone and wants the Narset and Urza. See, I don't know. I feel like I would need more time to test those kind of things. I'm not really sure the answer. How much time do I have on my clock? 14 minutes? All right, just let me deal with this one thing really quick, chat. I'm sorry that I'm making everybody wait, but it's important. Classic real life, you know? Maybe third time's the charm there. I have to log into this. Yeah, classic Saturday. It's probably my own fault for mistyping something. Oh, why is the Skype down? Log on, Skype is broken. All right, well, let's start working on it. All right, my opponent kept 7 cards. Hopefully they don't put anything into play on turn 1, and then we can win via Needle. So, Once Upon a Time makes them much more likely to put something in on turn 1. All right, they found a Vengevine. That's bad for Justin. Oh, that is going to be a deafening silence, yeah? I have to force it. So do we force and pitch Thought Monitor and hope to draw another blue card? Probably. I mean, we could force pitch force, but then we're weak to Force of Vigor, which I don't really want to be weak to Force of Vigor if I can help it. I think I'm going to force pitch Monitor and hope to draw a blue card on this turn. That will preserve our battle against Vigor, and then we can just build off using our top. We don't really get to top for a blue card. Well, now we can, because we can sequence in a way. Man, do we have to sequence into Mindbreak Trap, though? Kind of have to. If we want to be able to try to find a blue card for a Vigor, we have to sequence into Trap. So I was thinking, like, Opal, Bauble, Seat, Top, Needle. Seat Top is like, I guess Seat Top works as well, but it runs the same risks. Is it worth waiting? I don't think so. I don't want to give them a single Bazaar activation. I want to give them a single Bazaar activation. They could also just play Collector Roof on turn 2, and I could lose to that as well. We won't be able to spin for force. Oh, they have Misstep? Oh, shit. So I think we want to look at a random card in their hand and see if what we can see. Deathrite Shaman. So I don't think they have a Bazaar then. I mean, they could still have a Bazaar. I think we're going to just get ran over in this game. Still their best play is Bazaar, so we're like going to get Collector Rift, I think. Blue card? Blue card? That is a blue card. Okay, that's not Collector Roof. Draw? I don't like this deck, Kane. I would not recommend playing this deck. I do not like this deck at all. All right, so I think if they had it, they would have cast it. I'm gonna just cast this Ancestral. I think I'm just going to cast this Ancestral. They would have upkeeped me if they had anything else. Oh, that's perfect draws. Those draws are great. Playing this now. eats their land drop, so they can't play a Collector Oof. Yeah, okay, sweet. Dope. I think we're gonna win this game. Concur. Yeah, my apologies. Just have to make sure that gets done, I guess. I don't think that the I do think the list I sent you is playable, Kane. I think that the Reckless Impulse Breach PO deck is pretty reasonable. I might be playing Esper or like Dress Down, but I think I'm just going to cycle this top or this Lantern. I don't think I need it anymore that I have a Bazaar. I want to find like a Saga is what I really want to find. A Dismember. Interesting. I don't really think I have any need of hitting this Deathrite Shaman though. I think I'm just going to keep cycling these. Wasteland is really annoying though. Now I actually might hit this Deathrite Shaman. Because I really don't want them to have access to extra mana. I guess I should have waited till I drew a card first. I guess we could just use it on the oof too. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like... I guess, yeah, they could just do that. Yeah. Maybe that's worse. Now I have to force it. Yeah. I was like thinking it's way worse for me to get wastelanded into Collector Oof than it was for me to... Maybe it's not because I have double Opal. So if I play Soul Ring, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm just gonna pitch the Sphinx. But we could I just feel like we're not gonna get to hardcast the Sphinx. I just want to draw Thought Monitor. Saga's pretty good. Oh, should I wait? Should I wait until they wasteland my seat? What if they just play another... If they just play another Collector Oof? Maybe I'm supposed to wait. I think I was supposed to hold my Dismember, I guess, for the first Collector Oof. No way! This makes no sense. You just saw me put Hardcast Force mana up. I think this is a really bad play from my opponent. They should immediately wasteland this Saga. Now they just can't win. I think that's a huge mistake. I think I played badly. But I think that mistake was really large. That's such a good draw, though. Oh my god. Yep. I don't think they have a Vigor at this point, so definitely just gonna play out my other Saga. Yeah, I don't like how I played this game at all. I think I played this game poorly. They're gonna get overrun by Saga for sure in this game. No shot. Wonder if they ever had a Bazaar in their hand. Oh, okay. Looks like I'm all set here. Are they necessarily supposed to? Well, they can. They have free reign to do so. Oh, the problem is, like, I think hitting the Saga is more important than resolving the oof. I don't think we were ever casting Sphinx in this game, so I'm pretty happy with that play. We don't get to get a top here, but we do get to get... Does it matter what we get to get? Do any of these cards matter? Cage is like not good. Just get a soul guide. What's that do for us? Just to draw a card? Probably fine. Could also like needle Deathrite, needle Wasteland. I guess it's a little late to be needling Deathrite. I don't think we're going to cycle. But I guess we could if we needed to. If we were gonna do no, I should have tapped my opal. I should have tapped my opal. All right. If it just goes against all of my PO like built-in things. It just goes completely against them, because when you're playing PO, you're trying so hard to preserve blue mana. And I'm like, oh yeah, tap it with a colorless mana. I'm just telling you that like I always try to leave my opal because it has all the colors, you know. It didn't matter in this situation because I think the only thing I need to force is a vigor on my upkeep, and so I'll still be able to force with a vigor on my upkeep. So I don't think it matters too much, but yeah, probably slight missequencing. True. So here we are, round 4, Vintage Challenge. Unfortunately, we got paired down into BCS, who has been playing like almost exclusively Bant Archon, which is not a good matchup. This isn't the worst hand against Archon though, so we're gonna keep it. Yep, Bant Archon. This matchup is really, really bad. Seat. I think I'm gonna go Island Emerald Time Walk, and that way we are just like a little less susceptible to a vigor, and then untap and go for mana divination. If we draw a 0-drop artifact, we can hold up the Flusterstorm, but I think we need to be advancing pretty quickly, so and if they want to fluster my Time Walk, then whatever, I don't care. And if they want to vigor just my emerald, this is a little annoying. That's a pretty good draw, though. I guess they could be representing swords, but I have fluster. I like this draw. I think this is much better than playing divination. Just get to hold open Flusterstorm. I have Manifold Key, Opal. I like this. This is a good start. This swords. Gotta be swords. Kind of unlucky to have swords, right? Isn't there like one? Oh, they don't have anything. Interesting. Maybe they have swords fluster and they're looking to swords with fluster backup. That could be true. Strip mine. Strip mine. Strip mine swords. I'm gonna force it. I wouldn't want to pitch Thought Monitor, but I can't cast it, so I kind of have to pitch Thought Monitor. Not happy about this sequence, especially when my basic island gets strip mined again. But it's playable, right? We just untap, we make an opal, then we play Thoughtcast off 2. And we're still beating Vigor. Okay. Does that change it? Do we want to be bobbling? I think we want to be opaling still. I haven't played a land drop yet, right? I think I want to Thoughtcast into a land drop if I can. Don't think Fluster's stopping anything besides the upkeep Force of Vigor, which never came, so... How about like a Tolarian Academy? I think I'm gonna cast this, or activate this, and maybe try to hit a force. I only have 2 forces. Endurance. Interesting. I wonder if they thought about endurancing me. Probably would have been good. So next turn I have make a blue mana, play an opal, tinker. That would have been a land drop. Don't want to get, I swear to God, I'm going to get, okay, I didn't get Collector Roofed. Just wastelanded. It's pretty good though. Especially if they endurance me. They didn't endurance me. I find that quite odd. So I think I just play Tinker with double Fluster. So I can just go Ruby, Opal, replay Opal, play a Seagate, untapped, Tinker? Could just play a Narset. Yeah, that's not a huge deal though, right? Doesn't really change anything. I don't think that changes anything. I guess I don't even have to tap. I'm still gonna cast Tinker with Fluster back up, I think. If they choose to endurance me here. Oh, I didn't tap my fucking Opal! I hate my life. I played badly. I deserve this. I didn't tap my Opal. I have no mana. It didn't matter. Wow. I played very suboptimally today. I can tap my Opal now, though, so I can't get Vigored still, which is nice, but... If they had Vigor, they would have popped it off at some point, I thought. They saved Vigor for that long? Crazy. I can't believe they held Vigor. So they were choosing between Vigor and Endurance. I would have snapped off Vigor in upkeeps, I think. Maybe they can't snap off Vigor because of Emery. Yeah, I clearly planned that to bait out the Vigor that I clearly thought they had. Hey, we all know I'm the master at Vintage. I know everything, and I play perfectly every time. Yeah, Endurance was the card they pitched. That's sarcasm, by the way, in case, before I get wrecked in the YouTube comments. Okay, well, we need dismembers. I don't know. I don't know, man. I do not know. Dispute looks reasonable, maybe. Hull Breacher is pretty bad. They have like 4 draw spells in their entire deck. Kind of all the cards suck. Lock it in. You know I'm the master of Vintage. Nothing can ever go wrong on the stream. True story. So again, I feel like I don't really want Narset. This deck does protect Narset better than PO, so maybe I'm misevaluating how often you're supposed to board out Narset. But again, it's not that good against my opponent's deck. They have about 4 cards. They have like Probe, Ancestral, Brainstorm, Sylvan Library, Ponder, 5 cards that draw cards. So I don't know what we're supposed to take out though. Everything else looks good or fine. Maybe we trim on like Opal, Bauble, because my opponent is like Collector Roof, Archon, Force of Vigor deck. That could be pretty reasonable in my mind. Yeah, I'm liking that. That seems fine. Okay, I have Force, and I have Dismember, and I have a basic. Yeah, I think that's fine. Has the kind of the cards that you want in the matchup, so. Pearl's good. Oof, turn 1. Sylvan turn 1. I have to snap a Force on that. It's just gonna run away with this game, I think. I'm not really the right person to ask that question just because I don't really know. I've only really played Vintage for the last 3.5 years or so. There is a Steve Menendez puts a lot of work into a Vintage timeline. If someone wants to go into the Discord, into like the ban restrictions section, there should be a link there. And I believe there's like a timeline that Steve Menendez puts a lot of work into that you could check out. So a question is, do we play this Jet and expose ourselves to Vigor? Yes? I think so. Preordain is a 4 of. Just not in my opponent's deck. So I'm expecting Land Archon met with Dismember. Can we stop strip mining my basic island? Oh, we're not strip mining my basic island. Okay, interesting. I thought for sure my basic island was getting strip mined again. Maybe I'm getting hull breached. Sagas are pretty sweet though. So now I kind of wish they would just strip mine my basic island, right? Am I supposed to just like, they're not strip mining me and I don't know why. Do I just play a Saga and get that strip mined, I guess? I feel like I have to. Can't just do nothing. I do have 2. That is true. It is Hull Breacher. Okay, so this makes sense. The question is going to be, do we give a shit? We do, obviously. We do obviously give a shit. I think the answer is upkeep, dismember the Hull Breacher. It's not good for us. But Archon's probably worse for us. Collector Roof is worse for us. So I guess I'm just gonna spit and see if there's anything we need to draw into. Oh. Well, that seems like complete gasoline. So I'm gonna activate my top, whole priority draw, and then spin up a Saga as my next one. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think that's the best line, because I think I would rather be able to make sure I play a Saga. All right, I could get Vigor there. Let me draw. Let me see if this resolves, I guess. They're forcing it. Pitching Oko. Wow. Okay. Sure. Saga gets strip mined. Attack for 3. Don't care. I don't think we're dismembering this Hull Breacher. Why do we need to do that? That doesn't seem like something I need to do. Do you feel like I need to do that? Like, if I dismember the Hull Breacher and they draw Collector, if I can't make Saga tokens. Ugh, that's not a nice one. I think I'm still not dismembering this because of the aforementioned. I need to kill the stupid thing. But my life total. I don't know if I really even want to be drawing this top next turn. All right, this is fine. Just let this happen. We get a Saga going off. Play off my top here. We should have to see how this Sylvan fares. If they draw like Hull Breach, Collector Roof Fluster, or like Collector Roof Swords, or collect. Okay, they drew 2 cards. Here's Collector Roof then. No, it's an Archon. That is fine. That is fine. And a fetch. Yeah, I guess if the other was Wasteland, it would be pretty bad for sure. So here we make some duders. I know I'm drawing Pearl, which I guess is fine. And then I can search up Manifold Key. What is this? Just getting F6 value? I guess like, oh, player playing around Needle. Maybe I could Needle Oko, or I could get Unblockable Key. Needle Oko, Unblockable Key. Needle Oko, Unblockable Key. Not really sure. This is my gut instinct. And I'm gonna not dismember on my turn. I'm gonna try to wait till they cast a spell and then I can dismember if I need to. Lotus into Citadel is, I don't think that's that good. I just played this game down a card. My opponent has conceded from the game. I think Lotus for Citadel with an active Archon is like not really the game plan we want to go with here. You just want to use these Saga tokens to win the game. And I think just making the biggest Saga tokens, making sure Oko can't touch them, and making sure that I have Dismember is going to be good enough. I guess this is a pretty weak line against Vigor. Which is, I guess, a little concerning. But Saga was obviously quite good there. They only had one strip mine. Pretty sure the card that won us the game was Force of Will, though. I also think my opponent made a horrendous misplay where they forced a Mystical Dispute when they could have just jammed an Oko. Maybe that's not a horrendous misplay. Maybe that's just a choice that has good and bad things. I'm sorry, that's probably bad phrasing. That's definitely bad phrasing. It's definitely they had a choice. Oh, they couldn't play it because they had what? Pearl colorless? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a choice. I don't think it's like an outrageous choice. Like my deck is very much heavily built on drawing extra cards with our 8 cast. So I don't think it's like an unreasonable choice by any means. So that's why I wanted to say my initial phrasing was pretty bad. But that was a choice. They also could have maybe had Force of Will on the original Sylvan library, in which case I probably would have forced back and resolved my Sylvan library. I'm pretty sure like if they resolve the first Sylvan library and then just draw 3 cards every turn, it's probably going to be good enough. You can make a choice that loses you the game and have it still be a correct choice. So an Oko should beat, I think, one Saga, but maybe not. All right. Easy. Here we are, round 5, Vintage Challenge, still rocking the undefeated streak at the moment, but we've got our opponent 6MP who has beaten us the last few times. Sometimes Doomsday, sometimes Blue-Red Tempo. Not sure if it's going to be either of those two. In this hand, it's kind of a weak hand with a Mox Opal and no artifacts, but it does have Force Misstep into like a Narset, which might be good enough against like Doomsday or even Tempo, to the point where I feel reasonable about keeping it, even though I don't think it's the strongest hand. Like if my opponent leads this turn with Ragavan, like Misstep is so broken, right? Or if they lead this turn with Dark Ritual, Misstep is so good. Nice island choice. Are we just going to go Black Lotus Doomsday? No, we're going to go Black Lotus Lelia. Good night. All right, so they're still on Blue-Red Tempo. God, if they have like turn 1 Lelia with Flusterstorm backup, it's so bad for me. It's too strong, man. All right, so now I think we're like very, very much going to lose this game. Good God. I mean, I don't think you're ever supposed to play around this kind of series of play. It's like the top 1% of draws for their deck. But it's basically like it's a monkey that hits their own library or whatever and gets bigger. And there's a Saga in this deck? Okay, that's new. Like, if my opponent had a Black Lotus Lelia with Pyroblast backup, I would have beaten it with Misstep, but it just had to be Lotus Threat Flusterstorm, which is just too hard to beat. No, that's what I'm saying. Like they just had like a 1%er draw that was like really, really strong. I mean, the best thing that we can do against this kind of hand is to have our own broken hand. I think I'm actually just gonna hit this. My opponent's on very few cards. If they want to like force pitch a blue card out of their hand, by all means. Like the way we beat this is by having our own broken cards, right? And this just hasn't been the case. I'm just going to die to just this stupid hasty thing. Like I feel like if I play Saga, I just get Wastelanded and it's really bad. But I guess if they hold open Wasteland, it's pretty bad for me too. No, this does not work that way with Consult, but it does work that way with Tainted Pact. It's just not what they're doing. They're just playing a blue-red tempo deck. Just trying to figure out like a way I get out of this, and I'm really just not seeing it. I guess if they don't have a Wasteland, I can jump with my Saga. So maybe that buys me enough time to Thought Monitor out of this game. I doubt it, but maybe they don't have Wastelands if they're playing Sagas, which we saw. Okay. That's got to be like the single worst draw in the entire deck. So I wonder if I was supposed, like, in the end, the question is like, did I make a correct keep? And I find it hard to say that I made a poor keep, but there's definitely the logic and reasoning of you kept an underpowered hand. But I had Forced Misstep, which feels, I don't know, pretty good. Maybe I'm supposed to go to 1. It's hard to justify that. So I think I just float this, get a Lotus, cast. I can't even cast Thought Monitor, can I? I don't know what my plan is here, actually. It doesn't feel like I have a plan. I guess I can technically cast a Citadel, right? All right, at 7 life. My deck is not the best at 7 life casting a Citadel, but I think that's our best line. My opponent has hard cast negation. I've got Force down to 6 life. Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of zeros in our deck. All right, my opponent's hand is just Force, Pyro. All right, well, you got me, homie. This matchup does not seem good. Definitely think I'm gonna keep my Sphinx in. Probably want to bring in Dismember, Dispute, Hull Breacher, and that's probably it. And then I want to take out, I don't know if they have Wastelands or not. Maybe I just want to take out, if I think they don't have Wastelands, because we did see a Saga. I could probably go like Needle, Island, Emery's. But if they have Wastelands, it's really bad for us to take out Island. I'm going to say they don't have Wastelands if we've seen a Saga. Yeah, the problem with like Citadel Get Lucky there is that our deck is just so poorly optimized to use Citadel. But I think it's the best play, for sure. I think the real question is, was it like a reasonable philosophy to be keeping my hand in game 1? where I had Force Misstep. And I felt like Force Misstep covered Blue-Red Tempo and Doomsday really well. It just simply didn't cover Lotus, Leyline, Flusterstorm. So I think we just got outdrawn a little bit. I don't really hate the keep I chose. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. On the play, something broken? Sure. Yeah, turn 1, Urza. I mean, I just don't beat it with counter magic. You have to beat that by just out comboing my opponent. So Seagate is a non-land brick that pitches to Force of Will. So, and can be found off of Narset and stuff like that. The nice part is it's a land, but it's also a card that pitches to Force of Will is the big thing. Could we have killed Leyline by going to 1 and blocking with 2 constructs? It's possible. It's definitely possible. I kind of thought that the Citadel plan was a better choice. But maybe could have gone to 1, made a constructs. Could definitely have been a better choice. I'm not going to play around trap here in any capacity. I'm just going to jam my turn 1 Urza. I'm actually... Wow, that resolved. Nice. That's pretty good for our chances here. If I draw another Opal, I can just sass the Citadel. You love a little turn 1 Urza. Wait, it's Grixis? So it's Grixis, Leyline with Saga? What is happening? I'm very confused now. Are they X1 or are they XO? XO. Citadel how? Black mana, black mana, black mana, blue mana, blue mana, blue mana? Looks like we're just spinning the wheel here. Okay, next turn we could maybe cast the Seagate. On color jet, yeah. I'm just gonna F6, whatever. I'll bluff, I'll bluff. I can cast the Seagate next turn if I want to. I don't know if that's actually good, but... Pyro? Guess that's what we're gonna be doing. Ah, Shattering Spree with 1 red source. Nice, Karate. The classic Saga Sea Island Shattering Spree deck. I don't know what's going on over there. Typically, when you stop playing that much red in your deck, you switch to Bifrost instead of Shattering Spree. We know they have negation, so I'm not 100% sure we're supposed to Seagate here, but I kind of want to. Oh, wait, now we can play Citadel. I guess we should play Citadel. Should we play Seagate or should we play Citadel? I mean, they're both jam. The thing is, if we cast Citadel first, then our Seagate won't be good. But if we cast Seagate first, it's just not that as good as casting Citadel. What'd they do with this top? They bottomed on Preordain. The reason you would not cast Citadel here is because it costs you Citadel and Opal to cast it, which means our Seagate would not be a viable play. But we don't need our Seagate to be a viable play because we do have Urza still, so it's probably fine to cast Citadel here. Citadel is probably game winning if it resolves, which the Seagate is probably not like that, so. Nice. Yep. I'll take 7 again. I've literally taken 7 so many times today. I can't go to 3. I can spin, I guess. I hate this deck. It's so bad at Citadel. Why? Oh my god. This deck sucks. I don't want to play it. I'm gonna leave this so I don't get hit by Lelia. I guess I have a dismember, so I can't get hit by Lelia. I guess I should attack for 1. Because I'm just gonna get Dak and lose my Citadel here for sure. I fucking hate this deck. It's so tilting. Didn't I have lethal? No? Can you read? Attack, sack 10 non-land permanents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I don't think that's a good play. They hit Time Walk. All right, whatever. We just lose. I hate this deck. How can you put a Citadel in play and lose? It's so tilting. It's so tilting how bad this deck is. Oh. No, don't cut Tinker. It's the best card in. I wasn't brave enough to go to Lightning Bolt range. Yeah, true. I don't know. I just feel so scammed when this happens. Go into my Mana Crypt range, even better. I mean, that's what I've said. I've said previously that this deck is like really not constructed to play Citadel because you're playing a bunch of 7 drops. And I've just been continually told by ACAS players that that doesn't matter. But it's already lost me. I guess it didn't lose me the other game. So it's only lost me one of the 2 times this happened, but I don't know, man. They have a top in their deck? So there's like a Grixis Tinker deck with Lelia? Weird, man. Yeah, I mean, I think we probably win this game if I had cast Seagate instead of Citadel, but I just felt like Citadel is like should normally win you the game when you cast it. But in this deck, you just don't win the game when you cast it, so. So sickening. This deck is just incapable of playing with a Citadel. Yeah, I should have just cast Seagate. The worst part is I got paired down last round, which means even if I go 4-0, lose 2, I probably miss. So that'll be pretty sad. Okay, so we're just looking at the end of this game, and it looks like the real problem here is I'm not visualizing the fact that I can go 10 permanents and attack for lethal. So if I play this Thought Monitor and go to 3, that's not a huge deal. I just need to draw 2 non-land permanents to get to 10. And I have plenty of mana to cast, so even if I draw things like, oh, I guess Emery's not in the deck. I mean, even if I draw some misses, it should be fine. So that's probably the game plan is, we don't know what's underneath this Thought Monitor because we spun instead. But even if I missed on the Thought Monitor, I still have land to play. So I could still hit land, and I still have a spin available. So it looks like we probably could have gotten to 10 this way, and maybe I just attacked, go to 10, and then activated Citadel. So it probably a misplay and maybe a winnable game. But yeah, I guess you just have to beat the normal Magic player out of you to get to the 8 cast. Like, it feels really dumb to be like, I'll take 7 and go to 3, and I have a Mana Crypt in play. But I guess the real thing is I just need to realize my opponent is at 11, and we have 10 plus 11 plus 1, and I don't think I saw that very well. So yeah, not good. All right, here we go, chat. On our second winning in round 6 of the Vintage Challenge, we're up here at 4th versus Bernardo. There's some small chances we break her in at 8th if we lose, but we really want to win and get in. Yeah, let's see if I can play a little bit better. Like I said, we might have had a chance to win game 2 of our last round if I had maybe made some different sequencing choices. All right, this is definitely a hand we're keeping. We've got the classic Saga. I guess it's not a classic yet. It's only been a couple months, but we have the Saga Time Vault combo. We're just gonna go Mana Vault, Mana Crypt, Time Vault. Not even show them Saga. If they have Force, they have to force this. They don't know they have to force this because we won't show them Saga. And if they don't force it, then I have Saga, and I just lose to Wasteland instead. But yeah, I mean, like, if I lose to Wasteland, I lose to Wasteland, I guess. I still have like good draws of any blue producing land into Thoughtscast, so I'm definitely going to keep this, and we'll just go from there. I don't think we're going to lose to Crip. Should be fine. Like, there's a Saga. We're going to be making Saga tokens too if we make it that far, so it's pretty hard to lose to Crip at that point. The only thing this hand really loses to is Wasteland, or like Vigor plus counter. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this is like a definite keep, and you just roll with the punches. Mana Crypt, Time Vault, Survey Says, Saga, go. A Collector Roof should be fine. I mean, we have a Force of Will. We'll probably have an active Saga token. It's like, it's really Wasteland. This is really what we want to avoid. Even like a Bizarre draw, we might be able to beat. Okay, it's an opposing Saga draw. Do they have... Okay, it's an 8 cast. So opponent could combo off and kill us. That's the way we could lose this. But they could also get a Needle. A Needle would be annoying. Okay. Trust down is a way to deal with tokens. Yeah, they didn't actually make it to blue mana. It's a good sign. Definitely don't want to skip a turn. We need those Saga triggers. Definitely just want to see Opal here, or Seat. Not Thought Monitor. Like an Opal or a Seat or something that lets me cast Thoughtcast would have been really nice. But... Manamo School at the Water's Edge. You do love to see it. Tap, untap target Emery, target Urza, target Tolarian Academy. So yeah, my opponent has to have a Needle, basically. There's one Needle in their deck. They have to have a Needle and resolve it, or like Citadel combo off on us. Time Walk with no Fluster backup. I'm just gonna force it. Nice, appreciate that. They have a Force. All right, so now they can get Needle off their Saga, and we don't win. Kind of unfortunate. Exactly, Time Walk is really sad for us. I have to... I mean, I guess I don't have to, but I activate just so I don't get my Saga needled. Yeah, I mean, exactly Time Walk to get their Saga to go off first is certainly a way. The good news is they have Ancestral in their upkeep too. Beautiful. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're always going to needle Time Vault or Manifold Key here. So. What do they pitch to Force of Will? Their own Thoughtcast. The good news is we can probably get some blue sources and cast like a ton of things next turn. The bad news is we don't take infinite turns. So, yeah, needle. I would assume they name Time Vault, but maybe they'll name Key. I don't think we have anything in our main deck, our main to beat that, right? Because we don't play a Hercules or anything, so we just have to go the regular way now. Now they also have more blue mana. Pretty unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate. Not only did they have Time Walk and Force of Will and blue card, but they also had Ancestral Recall. It's just kind of like unnecessary to have a need. They have a fetch land in their deck? How did they pull that off? Just like kind of unnecessary to have more keys when you have 4 sagas. So they also named Time Vault. So all right. Well, I don't really think we're in a great spot in this mirror, but we will have 2 saga tokens. Maybe that'll be good enough. Oh, never mind. They found a Black Lotus. Are they going to keep going off? I mean, they cast a Thoughtcast. They got rid of a Thoughtcast. So, all right, I guess this is just not going to be good enough. It's pretty sad because it had to be exactly Time Walk or Needle Drawn. They had 2 outs in their entire deck. But yeah, what's a guy to do? I feel like we are very not favored here. So they're playing Probe in their deck as well. Well, maybe we could have a Time Walk lethal kill here. It's possible. So I think what we're gonna do is draw, and then we'll make a Mana Crypt. We'll make a Saga token, which will put us up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll probably get like a Lotus and cast a bunch of spells. Lost my flip. Not a terrible one. Saga token. Should we get a Lotus? Or should we just get a Sapphire or an Opal? So if we get a Sapphire, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's probably just better to get a Sapphire than a Lotus. Well, then a Lotus lets us always cast everything. So maybe we should just get a Lotus. We could always get a Manifold Key, because a Manifold Key will let us push through for lethal if we can get enough stuff going. This is probably pretty important. I could even Needle Urza. I don't know if that's actually good, though. Yeah, it'll stop the spin, but it won't stop mana producing. They also have double Bobble that they can draw from. I'm not sure what the answer is. I like the idea of Lotus because it lets me cast all 3 of my my draw spells here. I'm gonna go with Lotus. Lotus, Seat. This costs 1 blue. Found a Needle. Draw. Not great. Draw. Not great. All right. Oh god, if they fucking have Misstep as their second to last card here, that'll be so annoying. That's so annoying. Ah, it's so tilting. Hmm. Maybe I'm supposed to crack Bobble and maybe hit a force. I kind of wish I had... I mean, I just had no way of resolving that needle, right? At least they're spinning and not doing anything else. Emery's really good here. It's going to let them buy back thought monitors that they jump with. Yeah, no, I mean, I said key. I said key was definitely a choice we could have made. I kind of felt like I wanted to guarantee to cast all three in one turn, but maybe that was a mistake. Sure feels like a mistake. Well, if we draw key, we win, right? No, we're one short. Currently one short of just winning on the spot. Yeah. I think I need to crack because I'm so far behind on artifacts. Is that true? Do I crack because I'm behind? Because singly drawing key will not work for me. I can't draw Lotus Citadel. Just have to draw action. Maybe I was supposed to get key. No, because I won't have enough mana. God, drawing Fluster Storms are so bad at this point of the game. Actually, at all points of the game. My own Saga. I guess I could Needle Saga. But they're going to actually get their key first. Do I, like, survive if I wait here? Not really. Pretty sure we're just supposed to Saga Urza. No, I think we're going to lose before we ever get to a key. I don't think we can survive. Could be wrong. We just don't have the quantity of artifacts we need. Like, we have to jump this turn. I don't think we can survive this. This game is not, decidedly not epic. Because I feel like we've just not drawn remotely well enough to win. Maybe I just made a bad play with the Lotus. I just like him coming back on that Lotus being maybe a misplay. They have a main deck Hull Breacher? How do they fit these things? They have a Probe, they have a Hull Breacher, they have a Manamo. Like... Wait, they're cracking Baubles now? That can't be right. Why are they cracking Baubles? I mean, if our opponent maybe plays badly, maybe we have a chance. Oh, because they have Emery. And they can, like, play multiple Baubles in one turn? I guess. The problem is, like, I'm going to have to chump over the next two turns, and my attack is just not going to be big enough unless I draw another Thought Monitor or Thought Cast, but maybe I can. I just... this Black Lotus is going to haunt me. It made... I thought the Black Lotus made sense to make sure I cast all 3 draw spells. But maybe it just didn't draw the cards I really needed here. They're just gonna get a key before I do and kill me with a key. I feel like we drew terribly, but I'm not 100% sure. So I have to draw my own Time Walk now. And some Thought Casts, probably. Some Thought Monitors. I did not draw that, so as long as they get key, they win. I don't know. Did I play badly? I feel like it wasn't that bad. This mirror is really shit. I don't like it very much. All right. Hull Breacher, Karn, Dismember seem good. I don't know how many Hercules you're supposed to play. Are you supposed to play Hercules? Maybe. Are you supposed to play that many needles? Maybe 1, maybe 0. Anything I needle, they can needle. We could not have lived. Well, yeah, maybe we could have lived, but that makes it very unlikely that our Vault kill will kill them. Yeah, I think Fluster's garbage. Is Sphinx bad? Probably. Like, it's a balancing act. Like, I think chumping with a Thought Monitor makes it makes it much less likely for us to win. Yeah, we can definitely go down on a land. I agree. I don't think I would go down on more than 1 land, though. I definitely don't want this Misstep in my deck. As much as it was exactly good against my exactly Soul Ring at that exact moment, I think Misstep's pretty bad. This looks fine. All these cards are not really great, and these cards are all good. Well, I don't know how good Hercules is, but it seems reasonable. This seems fine. I think I want to have a needle, but I don't really want to have more than 1 needle. Yeah. 1, 2. Yeah, this looks good. I mean, I don't really want to have a Citadel in my hand, but maybe I'll hit Black Lotus off this Emery. Oh, this does not cost. Whatever. I did hit Urza's Bauble, Mox Ruby, so that's cool. Yeah, I would much rather have more islands than Manamos, but that's just me. I don't really feel like Manamo is that good a lot. Tolarian. Tolarian's a good one. Key. Yeah, that's fine. Emery of their own. Is like this worth forcing? It's pretty bad for me if they have a Time Vault in their hand, I guess. I don't really want to give up on a Thought Cast. I could be wrong. Their bin was very similar to my bin. I just like, they must have like what, 1 or 2 fetches or something. It's kind of weird. Feel like you're liable to draw into your fetch hits and just have them not be very good. Okay, so I think I just want to bring my Ruby back first, and then we'll play a Thoughtcast. I feel like my opponent left in Fluster, and they're debating whether to Fluster this, which is insanity. Okay. Another one. My own key. I think I'm gonna just crack both of these. Try to find a blue card. They have a force on top. That's not good for me. Right. Don't like the look of this game very very much. Do not like the look of this game. Sure, probe away. Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't really get the appeal. I mean, I get the appeal. Casting like Thought Monitor is pretty dope, but like you can just cast 1 PO and immediately win the game, you know? And then you don't even have to play Seed of the Cyanod. And they're, of course, the first to Saga again. They're going bobbling. There. We know 2 out of their 4 cards in their hand. They know 5 out of 5 cards in our hand. Yeah. All right. So what's the plan, Stan? Or what's the plan, Bernardo? I feel like if I guess I have their name, we might as well should do it, you know? All right, they know my top card. So now they know 6 of my 5 cards. How broken is that? They know 6 of the 5 cards in my hand? Brutal. If we draw Black Lotus, it's pretty damn good for us. I'll put it that way. Could kill for a Black Lotus draw here. That's a good one. I don't hate that one. Do it. Force it. I'll just replay it. Where are we at in life here? Saga, Opal, Bobble, draw with Bobble. No, there's no upside to playing Arena. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and our opponent also knows that we have those as well. I think I'd rather know the top card, seeing as I know it's a 50-50 whether Urza's Bauble reveals a new card, and it's 100% that Mishra's Bauble will always reveal a new card. Time Walk again. Okay, yeah, it's a good one. Not happy about that. We're both gonna have like super unblockable tokens of death. I'm gonna force this Time Walk, I think. I'm gonna hard cast Force this time, Walk. If we find another Opal, we could... It's gonna be tough. If we find another Opal, we can go black, 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 and then, yeah, if we find another Opal, we can do it. Oh, you mean in general besides that? No, probably not. Man, they top deck, they had Thoughtcast off of what? When did they have a Thoughtcast here? Yeah, it's really good. I think I'm supposed to force this Time Walk. I feel like we're so far behind if I let Time Walk resolve. Do they have Hardcast Force for their my Hardcast Force? Kind of seems like that's the case, right? No, they drew another Thoughtcast. I think we're just gonna lose. I don't feel like our draws have been as good as our opponent's draws. Is that weird? Does that not feel like the case? I don't know. Feels like the case to me. Like my opponent, we've drawn similar things, but it just feels like we're so far behind. Maybe it's because they actually like the deck. It performs better. That could be the case. It could be true. It could also be exclamation mark practice as well. You know, you never know. Another Opal. Okay. I know 2 of their 4 cards in hand, so theoretically I shouldn't be able to let this Time Walk resolve. Yeah, I feel like we've cast the same spells as our opponent, but our board is so much worse. I don't know what happened. It's kind of similar to last game, right? They have 2 cards left. I think I'm gonna force this Time Walk. F6. They have Force pitching something? Oh my lord. No, they're gonna go Saga token, Needle on Saga. I don't know, man. What I do wrong here. I can chump with Thought Monitor and rebuy it, which is sweet. Unless they make it unblockable. Just draw Time Vault. Ah, thank you, No Life, No Future. Much appreciated. I'll do my best. I don't know, though. I don't know if I have done enough practice to draw Time Vault. You know, it's just, who knows? After, you know, Mystical got cut from the deck, there was no chance. Oh. Hopefully they don't make this thing unblockable so that I can jump, but... We are on a very fast clock. Ay. Seat? I feel like they are going to, right? Like, they're like 100% gonna make it unblockable. It's a 2-turn clock. Yep. Time Vaults? Any Time Vault gamers? Time Vaults. Looking for Time Vaults? Mox Opal? Okay, so Mox Opal, Time Vault. Thoughtcast, Tinker. Fucking Urza Saga. Stupid card. I even have 2 black right now just with Manifold Key. Now my Citadel is just not going to be good enough either. I could draw Hercules. They bring something back. It's 9. They're cracking. Pain. What'd they draw? Ursa? They got Black Lotus out of their yard? They just draw Citadel? They fucking ripped an Urza off the top. Okay. But that seems dead for me. Oh, they ripped a Citadel and an Urza off the top. Ah, cool. Man, this was a fun game of League. I say League of Legends. What a good time. What a good time. Well. I just don't feel like I had any chance. Like, I don't really even feel like I even played that badly in these games. I just had no chance. My opponent was too powerful. I feel like a large percentage of like that game one hand where we had turn 1 Time Vault Saga in the mirror, I feel like that wins 95% of the games you play. I'm going to get 9th place in this tournament as well. Tristan, I need you to win. I need Tristan to win against Montolio in this game 3. Yeah, even if Tristan wins, I might miss. Or 4-0 into 4-2 miss with a pair down. Yeah, it seems about right. I can see why I see why Slasher goes 4-2 with this deck every week, because it's actually just not capable of winning some like matches. I swear. Oh boy. All right. Let's do a deck breakdown at the end here, and then all right. So what do we think about what do we think about this deck? I thought this deck was powerful, but I felt like it didn't really do the things I wanted it to do. I felt like I got very lucky at multiple points today to be 4-0, though there was definitely room for me to have played my matches better. That's definitely true. Saga was like miserable for me all day. I think it won 1 game and lost multiple games. I really didn't like it. Besides that, like, there's definitely some skill expression in this deck, but it's doesn't really feel like it's super meaningful. And then nothing is more tilting than getting a Bolas Citadel in play and losing the game. And I felt like every time I put a Citadel in play, I was at risk of losing the game. So I didn't like that very much. I don't really think the Citadel ever actively killed me or was terrible. Like, I do think the time where we lost the Citadel was my fault. I probably should have just paid the 14 life for Double Thought Monitor. And just gone for like the 10+1 lethal that I missed. So I do think that it didn't end up actually mattering, but it was really like hard to play the Citadel in this deck, whereas I feel like playing the Citadel in a Tinker Shell with black is so much easier. If your Tinker Citadel isn't good, I think you shouldn't play the deck though, right? That's my opinion. Like I do genuinely feel that Tinker Citadel is the best possible thing you can be doing in Vintage. And so if your deck makes Tinker Citadel not the best possible thing, I think that's just bad deck building. That's my opinion. That might not be true. Like this deck, I mean, I went 4-2. It's not a bad win rate, and I had a chance at top 8ing, and I think maybe even like if Bart played it or someone had played it, they might have played more proficiently than me, and maybe they would have top 8'd this event. But boy, I did not enjoy myself playing this deck, so I cannot see myself playing this deck for Eternal Weekend. I don't want to persuade people to not play this deck because it does feel like something that if it's something you enjoy doing, it's powerful and you can do it, especially if you have reps playing this deck in Legacy. It's definitely a strong enough deck to play in Eternal Weekend, but for me, it's just not what I want to see. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you made it all the way to the end, thank you. I really appreciate that. You should check to see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate you doing that. It's a real big milestone in YouTube, and every time you have more subscribers, it just compounds and compounds and makes more people get to watch Vintage, which is all we really want to see, right? So if you're not subscribed already on the YouTube channel, make sure you do that. In Twitch chat, you can also go to the YouTube and subscribe if you want. I'll give you the link. But I will see people for next week. We'll do at least a Wednesday night stream, maybe another stream before then. I am planning on making some content with another creator next week. Hopefully it will be great Vintage content and maybe even be posted somewhere cool. No official word or anything on that yet, but just keep an eye out. I'll let you know. And I will see you next time. Here's the final standings. Unfortunately, Tristan lost to Montolio, resulting in them being the 8th place on Breakers and us being 9th. Just how it rolls sometimes, and really needed to win one of my last 2 matches, but could not pull it out. So no top 8 this weekend. That's okay. I'm going to stick around in this tournament to do the data, but then we will call it a day. Thank you for watching again, though.